Hi, and welcome to another edition of This is Vinyl. I'm Mark Hober, I'll be your host for today. On this episode, we want to explore the relationship between a music publisher and an artist. And in this instance, we get to hear from somebody who is both of those things. The music publisher is someone I've worked with for many years as a guy called Steve Farris. Steve famously worked for Sony Music Publishing, as well as a few other startups like People Sound, for example. A long and illustrious career for Steve, he signed a band called Snow Patrol. We're very lucky today to have a member of that band, Jonny Quinn, who was the drummer in Snow Patrol, and also was one of my A&R men for when I was managing songwriters, because he set up a music publishing company called Polar Patrol that worked alongside Steve Farris as well. Complicated? Hopefully it won't be, we'll unravel it all for you. But today I'm very excited to talk to Steve Farris and Jonny Quinn. I'm really interested in this dynamic of having publisher and artist on the same chat, and the fact that you've ended up kind of working together in various guises since then, and how all that came about. But I'll get onto that. Jonny Quinn, Steve Farris, welcome to This is Vinyl. This is great.
Thanks for having us.
Everyone started with kind of like a first purchase, or you're buying your first records. What were the ones that got you guys going back in the day? What did you first buy? What got you into it?
To be honest, it's slightly embarrassing. It was Shawaddy Waddy Under the Moon of Love.
Oh, mate, that's a good track.
but I very quickly redeemed myself with Ian during the Blockheads, Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick.
Good man. What about you, Jonny?
Mine was 7-inch of the Police, Don't Stand So Close to Me.
Amazing, I had that. Was that the one with the Ice Cube and 3-bar fire?
Yeah, it's like I can't remember. No, it wasn't that one. No,
that's
I can't remember what the cover was. I just remember I bought it because my friend had put it on in his kitchen, and he put salt on the floor, and he started saying, "This is how you dance." You put salt, and so we were dancing as kids, and I was thinking, I love this drumming and everything. So I went out and bought it after that. Yeah. So it was when I was 13 or something.
Were you drumming at the time?
No, it was Stuart Copeland. That's what got me into drumming. I thought I want to do that. Yeah, this is brilliant. I love this.
Fantastic. So actually, it's kind of a bit of an influence on you moving forward. I mean, do you guys buy vinyl? Do you still listen to it, or do you tend to use other methods of consuming your music?
I tend to stream, to be honest. I do buy vinyl, and I buy, maybe buy a couple a month, but I don't put it on in my studio, but I don't put it on. It's not a daily thing I put on.
Yeah. Is it more of a kind of like a ritualistic? I mean, I'm kind of quite similar in that I buy quite a lot of vinyls. I sell quite a lot as well. But for me, there's just certain times, like if I'm cooking, I've got a system in the kitchen behind me here as well, that sometimes I just want to put an album on. I want that ritual of just getting it out, looking at the artwork, and reminding myself what was going on at the time. Is that a similar thing for you?
Not for me, I'm afraid. Do you know what? I was always a skipper. I loved it when CDs came in with a remote, because there's never really an album when every track is great.
Yeah, well, that's true. There's a filler occasionally,
and the fillers used to really annoy me. So I was always a skipper. So I absolutely adore Spotify, because I can just make playlists and skip really easily. And I just got so many records and then my eyesight started to not be so good, and just actually physically seeing them, I could go on my phone and just go, "Oh, great, I can get it like that." So
it's interesting you're saying this.
I've lost my vinyl habit completely.
Yeah. It's interesting you saying this, because I've been talking to a couple of other people in the industry who are saying that the way that albums are now being put together has massively changed. And in particular, it seems to me that because of streaming and that ease of putting a single track up, that artists are kind of developing their careers a lot more by doing a lot of single track releases. And the album kind of makes itself, and so it's almost becomes a greatest hits album as your first album. Before that, are you seeing that?
Yeah. There's a lot of people releasing 10 EPs before you'd even hear of an album these days. So it's a good way of building things before you release your record. So it's inexpensive. You don't need to create, before you had to make a CD for every EP and single. And so it is, to be able to upload that, it's of course costs nothing really.
Yeah.
So I think that's just the way careers are made a bit more, and everyone's playlisting these days. So people aren't listening to full albums. They're just putting a playlist which will be on, and then I mean people do buy the album in the end. But it's interesting that the vinyl, like 50% of people that buy vinyl don't have a record player.
Yeah.
I know,
So
which does blow my mind.
so they must have, so they love the band, they love the artist.
Yeah.
They just want something solid that they can maybe put on their wall and hold on to, because it's such an idea that they, I suppose, that they've shown them are a proper fan.
Yeah. Do you think it is a kind of like an ownership thing for the artist? Like you say, a proper fan. I am now part of this tribe. So if you're a Swiftie, for example, you still got to have a Taylor Swift album, even though you might not listen to it.
Yeah,
thought of it like that. But
Yeah, and if I'm to be absolutely honest with you,